Hey you guys, so I wanted to do a video about a dream that I had last night. This dream was something else. I've not had a dream like this in a minute. So let's get started. So in this dream, I was like how I am right now. I was at a mall and fallen angels just started popping up everywhere. Like they were all types of different heights, sizes, but there was one big one. I don't even know his name, but he was huge and he had like armor on. Kind of reminded me of like the Optimus Prime armor. Like it was really weird how they were dressed and they were very technologically advanced. So I was at the mall and one of them was in the mall and he was just causing chaos, and they could change their size. Like they could, like, if they wanted to be smaller so that they could fit into something, they could change their size. And one of the big ones, came into this huge, this mall was like huge. And again, like it seemed like it was very luxurious, kind of like a very rich mall. And like they were just popping up everywhere. They just started revealing themselves everywhere. And they came into the mall and were like knocking down the mall and stuff like that so that people would run outside. I heard one of them be like, "Oh, look at all little God's children," and he was laughing with this deep voice, ha 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 ha, like that, kind of like mockingly. And he had like this really deep voice, and he's like, "Look at all God's children," and like he was scattering them and forcing them to go outside. However, I was on another level, and I was trying to, and for some reason, like something told me that they were looking for me. And I was like, why the frick are they looking for me? So I got on an elevator, and the elevator, like they had knocked it from working. And the elevator started to fall a little bit. And so the doors opened and I jumped out, and this other girl jumped out, but this guy got left on, and the elevator plummeted and he died. And then, so I was in there, I was trying to get out too, but there was this blonde haired, blue eyed lady. By the way, she was not fully human. She was not. God revealed to me that she wasn't really a good person, but she was pretending to be on my side to learn more about me. But at the time, I just cared about getting out. We got out, and I had noticed we found this like motorbike looking thing. We jumped on and we went somewhere around a perimeter, and I had noticed that they were pushing people into like cages, like these huge, it almost reminds me of FEMA camps, but like it was like a detention center or a camp, whatever. And they all had to stay in this compound, and they were guarded by fallen angels and these blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. And the blonde-haired, blue-eyed people were very, very good-looking. Like they looked like perfect, like no blemishes, nothing. The same thing, that girl, she didn't have any blemishes, nothing. And the Lord revealed that to me, that she was not good. She just wanted to learn more about me, so she got me away from them, and she would roger back to the headquarters, which would be the fallen angels. And the fallen angels, they all look different. They all had different clothes on and different armor on. Some of them looked like they were from the Roman era. They all were different, but they all had like this, in my opinion, European look to them. And some of them didn't even look human. Like they chose to look. They reminded me of, have you ever seen Death Note? If you see Death Note, there's this like guy in it that he's like, he has wings and stuff. I forgot what his name was, but he looks really ghoulish looking. Some of them look like that. Like they didn't want to look pretty. They wanted to, most of them look pretty, but most of them took the form of like ghoulish looking things. If they were, I don't know. It just depends on the damn angel. Sorry, the angel. Like they were just crazy. Some of them, they just acted erotically, and they were I don't know, it's just weird. They weren't killing people, but some people died because of this destruction. But they weren't exactly killing people. They were, I want to say, kind of like how we put a lot of these illegal immigrants in camps and stuff and make them stay there and watch them closely. That's kind of like what they were doing. And they literally took over a whole city. Like, they were taking over, they were like the new government system. And there were so many. Now, I heard about the Grigori. The Grigori were the 200 angels that decided to sleep with women and stuff, and God locked up the main ones that started it. Now, there's still like 100 something angels out there that have not been locked up, that are still roaming around doing whatever. Those seem to be the ones that were doing all this. Anyways, so we're riding the bike, and I heard God's voice, and like, I actually audibly heard him. This was shocking to me, because it's been a while since he's audibly spoken to me in a dream. And he said, walk into your destiny. And then he said again, and then he said another thing, like, this is who you are, Monica. And I looked up to the heavens because I heard him. And I was quite shocked. I was really shocked, because he literally never really talks to me audibly in dreams except for a couple of times in my life. So that was very interesting. And so he gave me a vision of a uniform. This uniform was not from this world. And he told me that, well, he kind of like, in my like in my mind, he showed me it, and I was under, and he gave me the understanding that this uniform would help me control my abilities and things that are, and the gifts that he has given me, the abilities that he's given me. This uniform will help control that and help me, learn how to use my abilities that he's given me. And he gave me a vision of this uniform, and this uniform looked like, it reminded me kind of, if you've ever seen Battle Force Elita, when she would have flashbacks of being in this uniform. I don't know, it just reminded me of something not earthly, it reminded me kind of like a space uniform, but not so much. It's really hard to explain this uniform. And then this uniform God built for me. It's going to be for me, basically, just for me. And apparently that's where we were trying to get to. We were trying to get to these uniforms for me, because apparently I had abilities that I had no control over. But in the dream, I didn't use my abilities. I think the only thing that I did in that dream was I had like super strength or something, because I jumped really far and didn't get hurt. Jumped really from high areas and stuff, and I could run really fast. But those are the only abilities I used in that dream, because I was in shock. Not in shock, but just like, like when these angels revealed themselves, it was just like, well, dang, like, and then it was just sudden destruction everywhere, because they just started causing chaos everywhere. Like, they were knocking down buildings, like, all around people. People were getting crushed. They were taking women. Yeah, I did notice that they had definitely some interest in the women. And then, and I knew that, and for some reason they were looking for me. And I was like, why are they looking for me? Because I heard one of them say my name, and I'm like, the freak? Like, why are you looking for me? So I literally, like, I literally, like, bolted out that mall really fast with that one lady. And again, God showed me that she wasn't good, but I didn't want to reveal that I knew who she was and her agenda. So we rode out of there, and then I remember it was a really nice day, like a really nice day. And then just chaos everywhere. What else did I see? What else? I'm trying to remember all the parts, things that stood out to me in my dream. What stood out to me was the fact that it seemed like things had advanced, and my family wasn't with me at this point. My daughter, my husband wasn't here in this dream at all. Usually they're in my dreams, but they were not in this dream. This dream was just me. It seemed like the whole area was a little bit more advanced than where we are right now. Like, that mall didn't look like no mall I've ever been to. The buildings looked, all the streets were really freshly done. Like, I don't know, like, it just looked different. The architecture looked different from American architecture. It looked, no trash anywhere, like perfect buildings, perfect everything. Now, I have heard of a race of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people in Antarctica that live in this perfect city, apparently. Stop. And, like, I don't know. Maybe it was that city, I don't know. Because I know the fallen angels live there. But I just wanted to share this dream because it was very interesting, and God has never talked to me audibly like that before. You know, I was feeling a little discouraged with a lot of things in my life. It just seemed like sometimes like the negative outweighs the good in my life. And last night I was talking to my husband. I was venting to him about my feelings and just feeling like I'm never winning. Like, I feel like I'm never winning for the most part. I just feel like most of the things in my life have been bad instead of good and stuff. And I was just feeling like, has God forgotten me? Like, am I just nobody? I remember just saying that to my husband, like, I just feel like I'm nothing to God sometimes. Like, just feel like the bad always the good sometimes. And I was just venting and talking to my husband, and then I randomly went into that dream. I had no thoughts about this before I went to sleep. None. I don't even know how, like, I did not stress induce this dream at all. Like, I went to sleep after I vented to my husband and prayed and asked the Lord to forgive me. And I talked to the Lord a little bit about my feelings as well. But I think that he definitely heard me and gave me and spoke to me audibly in my dream. And I felt honored because he never, besides maybe 2 times in my whole life, 25 years I've been on this earth, never has he talked to me in my dream audibly besides like 2 times. So this will be the 3rd, and that's a lot. So I felt very good about that. So yeah, you guys, I just want to talk to you guys about this, and hopefully this dream, hopefully somebody can help me with this dream, because I don't know fully what it means. I do have an idea, but if somebody is better at me than interpreting, then please let me know what you think. Thank you for listening. God bless.